The question that we're going to focus on in this video is one from a guy called Matt, and Matt says this: "Hey Dylan, could you analyze this topic? Is it possible to create a personal brand through commercial product alone? Or is a medium with frequent opinions and personality required? I'm not sure how to label this." How's it going, everyone? So I just got back from a little day trip to Helsinki in Finland. Just been over there for one day from Tallinn. And last night on the way back on the ferry, I asked everyone in my Facebook group if they had any questions about personal branding. So first of all, if you're not already in my Facebook group, the link will be somewhere underneath this video in the description, so go and check that out. But I wanted to get people's questions on personal branding, and one of the questions really stood out, and I'm going to share it with you in this video and answer the question here. So the question was this. By the way, as well, it's clear that a lot of people have questions around personal branding, because I don't know if you can see this, but these are all the questions that I had come through, tons of them. And the question that we're going to focus on in this video is one from a guy called Matt, and Matt says this: "Hey Dylan, could you analyze this topic? Is it possible to create a personal brand through commercial product alone? Or is a medium with frequent opinions and personality required? I'm not sure how to label this. For example, I'm a software developer and I've been trying to build a personal brand around apps I'm making. Check out my Instagram for an example." So in my case, is making the apps and posting about them when published enough? Or do you think additional content with personality is required, such as a strong Twitter presence or maybe even a podcast? To prove this doesn't apply for apps, we could also use a painter as an example. If they only sell and post photos of their art, will they develop a personal brand today? Or will they need their network insights on the latest styles and techniques they used to realistically grow a strong personal brand? Thanks. So first of all, Matt, good question. And that is a question a lot of people ask me, so I'm going to answer it in this video. And I'm sure a lot of you watching this video probably have that question as well. So essentially the question is kind of long, but the question is, can you build a personal brand based purely on your work alone and without actually having to inject too much personality into it? So for example, if I code apps, can I build a personal brand around apps and not have to get in front of the camera like this and share stories with you, share advice with you, share behind the scenes stuff with you? So the short answer to that question is no, like it's not enough. So you might see a few brands out there that are built off the back of the products that they make, the apps that they build, etc. But they're not personal brands, right? And the difficulty with those is, and the thing that I want to say to you, Matt, or anyone else having that problem, the reason I build a personal brand, the reason I think a lot of you should be building a personal brand is because no matter what you decide to do with your life or with your career, that personal brand stays with you, right? So if you build your brand just around the apps that you build, so Matt, if you literally, I went on the Instagram that you shared with me, if you're just posting pictures of the apps and just talking about the apps and nothing else, what if in a year's time you want to transition, you don't want to do apps anymore? All that hard work is gone. Now with a personal brand, if you build a personal brand, people buy into you as a person and the stories that you share, the help that you provide, the support that you give to people. And it doesn't matter whether you set up a completely different company, whether you leave your job, whether you go to do something else, that personal brand doesn't disappear. I started building my personal brand when I was working for somebody else, right? And when I left that job, my personal brand came with me, and because of that, I managed to generate a load of business for my agency immediately because of my personal brand. And if you guys want to find out how I did that or how you can leverage your personal brand, also check out the description below this video because there's a completely free case study in there for you as well. But that's plug, promo over on that one. So back to answering the question for you, Matt, and for anyone else that wants to know that, honestly, like, yes, you can build a brand just showcasing what you do, so just showcasing the apps that you build. But I don't think, first of all, you can't call that a personal brand because a personal brand is a brand centered around you as a person. And secondly, I just don't think that's the smartest move in the world to make, because if you want to leave that job, if you want to change niche, like we've all changed niches a little bit, or we've all changed what we focus on a little bit. If you build the brand just around that, then you can't do it. Like, it just won't work. If you leave, you have to start from scratch, and that's the complete opposite of what we want to do with building a personal brand. So my advice to you would be, you can, if you don't want to be in front of the camera like this, my advice to you is continue sharing stories about, or just sharing the apps that you've built, but start to share more stories around those apps. So rather than just saying, hey, here's an app that we built, share the stories that really resonate with your target customer or your target buyer. Talk about the problems that you solved through building that app. Show some of the issues that you came up against when you were building the app. If you built out an app, I'm sure you had a million different problems whilst you were building that app. Share some of those things. Share the problems that your customers face. Share a little bit more behind the scenes. Everything doesn't have to be about the specific app that you finished. What about your process? You can share your processes. You can share the different things that you work on. And if you're nervous about being in front of the camera, you don't have to be in front of the camera. You can still build a personal brand off the back of what you're doing behind the scenes, right? But my honest recommendation is just focus on yourself and building your personal brand. Of course, you center it around the products that you're making, but make sure that you're in the frame. And if you're nervous about doing that, you're unsure about how to do that, check back a couple of videos ago, I posted one all about how an introvert can build a personal brand, and I shared 3 tips. So I'd really recommend that one for you. But unfortunately, Matt, in short, the answer is no. I don't think you can build a personal brand without actually being the person involved. But if you need any help or support or guidance, and anyone watching this video wants some support and guidance, check out the case study in the description here, and I am happy to, it's a free case study, right? So you can see some of the essential parts to build a personal brand. But Matt, hopefully that answers your question. I'm going to do a few more of these. I have this big Facebook group, and I have a number of other channels. So I think if this video works, if you guys like this, I will start to ask you guys some Q&As and answer the questions on the YouTube channel. I think that's a cool idea. So watch out for a few more of these. And as always, if you found this video useful, if you enjoyed it, or if you're new around here, go ahead and press that button, subscribe to my channel, and I can't wait to see you again in another video soon.